Coming out of SideQuest Studios out into the realms of the living, this is Thrones of Game, the only Game of Thrones podcast that watches the series backwards. If you've never heard the show before, well, let me quickly explain there, friend. My name is BT Calloway. I've already seen the entire show. Joining me is Elliot Jay O'Neill, who's only watched the series backwards. Elliot, how you doing?
Good morning.
Yeah. We had a lot of podcasting today, so let's get some more done. We just watched Season 6, Episode 3, Oathbreaker. Elliot, what just happened?
Fucking hell, man. I don't want to keep doing this joke, but, you know, the series has got to give me something at some point.
It's a lot of moving pieces again, and this is actually just... This is what, I don't know, it's 3 episodes into the season. It feels like it's establishing a lot still. I can't remember what happened before this, but this could have been like the first episode of the season, almost.
Jesus Christ, though. Like, I joked before about we're going to, in previous episodes, we're going to see the pre-planning. This is exactly what fucking happened, man. I thought the previous episode was a snooze fest. Fucking
Well, this
hell.
is why they have to do the planning. So, but yeah, this one has very few notes for me, honestly. And there are 11 different plot threads.
Yeah.
In an hour of television, we have 11 plot threads. I think that's probably the biggest problem is, yeah, nothing feels significant because there's all such little pieces of each individual one.
Yeah, look, and... You know, part of this project has been, you know, the discovery of how television going forward sort of makes you hype for the next episode. And I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I do know why people were starting to get frustrated and antsy. And especially having watched season 7 and 8 now where it feels like they rushed through everything.
Yeah.
This, like, they're taking their time to a fault.
I think at this point, yeah, it's, you know, this is around about the time that like Cracked.com launched their Game of Thrones podcast, which was called Winter is Taking Forever. And, you know, South Park has that whole thing where they've got an episode where it's just the White Walkers are just taking forever to get there. And
don't worry, the dragons are coming.
They're coming. Everything is coming. It's like, yeah, everything's been coming for a while at this point. We're kind of ready for something to happen.
Yeah.
And that's, again, that's the absolute slap in the face for 7 and 8 to dash so much, is that we took so long to get here. When we finally get here, it's so little. Anyway, so, I mean, for you at home out there, this is the one where, you know, John has just come back to life and is walking around or being like, holy crap, I'm alive. That's weird.
Yeah,
and,
so in the last episode, I learnt that Daenerys was fireproof. I learnt this episode that Jon's a zombie.
Yeah. Well, Revenant, technically, if you want to get into it.
Like Leonardo DiCaprio?
It's a term for, something that's come back to life for a particular purpose.
Huh.
Yes, you know, he's more resurrected than anything, but, you know.
A resonant.
Yeah. A resident evil. And, yeah, the end of which he then, you know, hangs the people that originally killed him, and that's this episode, if you remember that. So, man, let's just kick this off. Got an MVP at all? It sounds like you don't. So do you have a... If you don't have a most valuable part, do you have a least valuable part?
I mean, I liked Sassy Queen again.
She's always fun.
Had a good sass line reminding everybody that Cersei's super into incest. And
yeah,
that was fun.
Little scene with the small council, and you know, I do like how it starts with the old mace is like, oh, we're doing these things, and I can't believe they brought back the mountain to life. What the hell is that abomination? It should be destroyed. Oh, he's behind me, isn't he? Although I do love, no matter what, he's always this duttering old fool.
Yeah, I wrote, my name for him is Drunk Mall Santa.
Yeah, no, accurate. Just, you know, doddering drunk, not like aggressive drunk. Yeah, like in the last episode where he's in the room talking to Tommen and Cersei's like, can you leave? He's like, sure. And it takes him like a minute. I don't know. I do like him because he's almost comic relief. But yeah, they're having this small council meeting, and then, they're all like, oh, you know, we've called this meeting to talk about what the High Sparrow is doing with the Queen. And Cersei's like, oh, no, I'm fine. It's like, no, not you, idiot.
Yeah.
Marjorie, who's married to the king. I know you get confused sometimes with marrying members of your family, but do fuck off.
Yeah, swish. I did, you know, you're talking about relief, and I did like the little diversion to Samwise and family. Yeah. Or as I like to call it, Samly Wise.
It's like that can be one of the spin-off series, like the adorable like family sitcom set in Westeros.
Yeah.
Family Wise.
Yeah.
Coming soon to HBO.
But, you know, set on the high seas, and I thought, they were actually doing some really good acting there. And it's like, I think we mentioned before how the girl, I forgot her name.
Gilly.
Yeah, that we weren't always convinced by her performance, but I thought this was another great one of hers. And
Yeah, I do like she's completely unfazed by being on the sea and Sam's just throwing up in a bucket.
yeah. Although, I gotta say, this is just a gripe with movies in general. Puke never looks real. Like, it's either coming out of a hose and looks fake and fucking shit like it's done in a Wayans brother movie, or it's like this where it's like, well, that was clearly only a mouthful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they get around it. I don't think you can make actors puke. It might be against
Feels like it would be or should be.
Yeah, but, I mean, I just want some more convincing puke Hollywood, you know?
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do.
I feel like you can run like a tube and then have a reasonable amount come out, not like overdone, Team America amounts. But
but even then, like, that looked way more convincing.
Just a gutful at least, yeah.
Because that's your problem. Either you got to do it side on and have the hose like clearly next to the mouth, or
and it's obviously a hose bit, yeah.
Yeah. So at least appreciate this one. It's clearly coming out of his mouth, and they've done some clever cutting, but it's never quite enough.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's puke talk.
That's puke talk. Didn't know we had that as a segment, but got its own theme music. It's gross. They're just on a motherfucking boat, so that's about it.
Yeah.
And as long as we're in various kinds of talk, let's go to cock talk. Where when John is resurrected, he bumps into Tormund Giantsbane, and like everyone, all the wildlings are giving John a wide berth, and he's like, they think you're a god. I'm not a god. Like, I know, I've seen your pecker. What kind of god would have a pecker that small? It's like, damn it, Tormund, you're just fun.
And that's it for cock talk.
That's it. Yeah. Zip. I guess I did want to start off. Well, I actually know.
Oh yeah, what's your MVP?
My MVP, good question. I am tempted to give it, even though nothing technically really happens in the scene when Tyrion's sitting there with Grey Worm and I've forgotten her name.
Miss Sunday?
Miss Sunday, yeah. Delicious Miss Sunday.
Mm.
And it's just trying to get them to have a conversation. It's like, what would you talk about if I wasn't here? And Grey was like, patrol, what I saw on patrol, who I arrested on patrol, when I will patrol next. So, okay, that's boring as fuck.
So taking the season into consideration, like, watching this, I would have been satisfied to see that joke scene that we saw earlier, they'd see later, whatever.
When he does finally get them to have a drink and have a joke.
Yeah, because I think that scene works in isolation, and then having this as a build-up is, pretty satisfying.
I concur. So I did like that. Honestly, though, I think I want to give my MVP to the kid who plays Ollie, who was the kid who got hung at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Because, John is obviously struggling because this guy has betrayed him, and the way the Night's Watch works is they don't see, children, they just see members of the Night's Watch. But obviously he knows this is a child and kind of looks that up at him, and the kid, whoever plays him, is just looking down at John with this kind of mix of anger and obvious fear because he knows he's about to die. And it's a really good face. He does very well, doesn't say anything, and again, being like a bit part on Game of Thrones would be so intimidating because it's the biggest show in the world at this point, and that would be tough to be on, and like, okay, you've got, we're going to put the camera on you for 5 uninterrupted seconds, and we just need you to feel angry but hurt but scared but like a little duty bound, but not like so duty bound. So it's just all that emotion, 5 seconds, and action.
Yeah.
And he did. So nicely done, kid.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually, really liked that scene, and it's like watching those racist motherfuckers hang, and but I thought there were some good performances in that. But man, I gotta say, after they got hung, like, every time you'd see their face, it'd be different. Like, it's such a weird thing to nitpick on this episode, but holy fuck, like, and there were some pretty wacky I'm dead now faces in there. They sort of went really blue really quickly. I don't know.
I know it's cold, and I guess if blood is being pushed to your face, and then that blood is getting very cold very quickly.
I mean, I've never attended one, a gallows thing, but I don't know how exactly it looks, but I don't know. It looked a little silly at times.
I do have the bad feeling it probably would look a little silly, just because the body doesn't know that, this is a serious moment. So if you just look stupid when you die, you look stupid when you die. It's like that guy from Pompeii who was like, encased in stone while jacking off.
Really?
Yeah, they found him.
Awesome.
He's like I like to think he saw it coming, goes, well, there's time for one last go.
You just would, wouldn't you?
I mean, it'd be like, what else am I doing?
Yeah.
It's either that or die in a pose that will confuse future archaeologists. But, if you can take your pick.
I'd still be trying to jack it in some interesting way.
I mean, Let's move on to our next question. Nudity.
There was a little bit of John Butt in the beginning.
Little John Bum Chovy, yeah. when he gets up, because, you can't resurrect anyone closed, I guess.
Yeah, because I didn't know this was the whole context that he was being revived or resurrected or whatever.
Yep.
I thought this was just going to be a dream sequence, and I'm like, oh, those dreams where you realize you're in the
When you're at the Nice Watch and you didn't get dressed, and you're like, oh my god, and I forgot the homework assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, those are the worst.
And you get unexplained stab wounds all over you.
Yeah, I did like how realistic they looked, and he kind of inspects them, and the flesh kind of moves, and yeah, it would be a harrowing moment. I like how they kind of dwelled on that, because it was just like, I was dead, and now I'm not. This is weird.
Yep. And other bit of nudity was fucking forgot her name already. Dan Brady. Yeah. And I feel like this is in good contrast to the last episode where we're talking about power nudity.
Yeah.
This one, it's being used to strip her of dignity.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, that's a good kind of... I like how she enters that room, they strip her, and then in the end of next episode, aka last episode, she walks out nude, but it's completely different in context of what it means. I do quite like it. It's almost like a rebirth kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like a lot of things that functionally I like about this episode. It's just... Oh, man, someone throw a fucking pie already. Like, Jesus, just some goddamn action would be nice.
Yeah.
Like, my other contender for most valuable player, and I guess that was it for nudity, right?
Yeah. A little John Bon Jovi and a little bit of Dan Brady.
Side boob.
Yep, side boob.
Yeah, but the violence...
yes.
Sorry, you're meant to be writing the question.
No, it's fine. Violence. The next question. Yeah.
The scene where Bran and Three-Eyed Raven are peering in on Daddy Stark. Yeah, this was a cool moment, and when you have a violent moment like this so early in the episode, and then just nothing. For the rest of it.
Easily put that, like, cut that scene out, move it a little bit later to like tentpole the rest of the excitement for the rest of the episode up.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. So this is Bran just flashbacking in time and looking at his dad, and the guy who's the best swordsman in the world, that he'd always been told stories that his dad managed to vanquish, but finds out it was someone else stabbed him in the back.
Yeah.
And the guy is fighting with two swords, which is cool, but bullshit. Apparently saw actual people who fight with swords that say just no, you can't. You would suck trying to fight with two swords at once.
Oh, and they didn't look like small fucking swords either.
No. Yeah, these are like long swords and stuff. They're not easily brandished in one hand.
Yeah, this guy who's like a combination of Magneto and the Shredder.
Mm-hmm. But this is also a good bit where we have a first example of Bran being able to affect the past by calling out to his father and his father stopping and turning. And as we all know, in this final season, this means absolutely nothing.
And even after he uses it for Hodor to affect that incident in the past. Yeah. Again, not coming up again, especially, with the White Walkers and all that shit. Because what was he doing in the fucking Longest Night?
Well, that's the thing. I kind of expected that to come back. Because he does wog into like a flock of ravens, and I thought that was going to be like an emergency backup, like a cloud save. So if his body died, he would be in a bunch of ravens. But no, he comes back to his body just when the Night's King rocks up, and so... And then again, it's also when the ravens are flying near the dragon that the Night's King has. Okay, maybe he's like, just trying to distract him as best he can. Up. It's like, well, fucking, what are you doing?
Great to see all these long setups for shit that just doesn't pay off.
Yeah, you can see why people are angry.
Oh, I can. Like the show does like make me retroactively angrier for the episodes that come later, and even with the Arya scene as well, where. I thought they showed her getting better in this episode, which is something that I think was missing later in the... Because she gets fucking owned
later
times.
On, when she can see they're playing, stick fighty again, and she gets owned. And it's like, no, she was blind and getting better.
Yeah.
Good old blind assassin training montage.
Yeah, so it feels like in those episodes they took a backward step. And, I mean, again, this is a scene that I kind of liked as well. It's like... It's always tricky to sort of reinvent the wheel on doing a training montage, and I thought this was kind of interesting. How
to intersplice it with the bits of talking, like, tell me about Arya Stark, and she's just going through her life and talking about her list and stuff like that, and it was good. It was a good little bit.
Yeah, and the Jesus-y guy, what's his name? I don't know.
I don't think he has a name. He probably does.
Oh, yeah, because the whole no one thing.
But he still gets known by something. A
dude.
Fight Jesus.
And where he's total got your eyes, and like, it's sort of weird in that scene as well, how he just like pours her a bowl of water or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like there was no explanation. It's just hands a blind person that thing and didn't say drink it or anything. It's just...
Yeah, like, oh, you weren't supposed to drink.
No, you meant to put that in the eye.
That was pure LSD. You were meant to, like, sip it. Oh, you are going to... I'll see you in a month. You'll be high as balls. Yeah, I don't know.
A girl's going to fucking lose her brain.
What? Yeah, another weird thing was... maybe it gets explained next episode, where... she's blind and, like, in front of, like, 4 bowls of powder and smelling each of them and then mixes it together. And I don't know what she's doing. And then he kind of looks at it with, like, an approving nod. Again, maybe this gets explained next. I can't remember. But,
did they forget? Is this Breaking Bad for a moment? Did they...
Breaking Blind.
Yeah. Hey. Blind breaking.
Yeah.
The way we're doing it.
Yeah, true. But I mostly enjoyed that entire thing. Bit I did not enjoy was Tommen talking to the High Sparrow, and it's just, God, I mean, I know Tommen's meant to be a wimp, but god damn Tommen. Because he's all like, his only request is like, let my mother see her daughter's final resting place, and he's like, oh, I'm afraid that's quite impossible. It's like, no, you can do something, Tommen, you stupid dick. But,
Stupid potato sack wearing man.
Yeah, I know that's the High Sparrow, not Tommen.
Who's Tommen?
Tommen is the king.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, that scene where they were talking to each other in the prison thing. Yeah, that's what I was talking
sorry, I must have thought you meant the other one. Anyway, fuck that off. Yeah, so that was probably the most bored I got in this episode. It was just like blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I mean, even then, maybe I just don't have the context for it, but I found that, why is her name escaping me to Dan Brady? I found that scene with her and the other Carlises pretty forgettable as well.
Yeah, they headed that city, which meant to become a Dosh Colleen, but I've now named that city Carlsberg.
Hey.
Yeah, Carlsberg.
Just like the Cavans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait.
That's Carl's dad.
Damn it.
Yep. I do like when she's getting marched in that city, her hair is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, whoever does her hair is not there to help her out, and it's just frizzy and it's all over the place.
But I don't know, maybe I have to go back and watch it to make sure, but then when she's inside and getting dressed, she all of a sudden has like 2, albeit pretty frayed and terrible looking braids in her hair. Yeah,
a little more towards the back, so I'm not too sure if they were there the entire time, but yeah, I kind of noticed that as well. So we really pay attention to her hair in this show, but we, what else are we doing? It's Dan Brady.
Yeah, maybe it's just, it does it itself.
Yeah, wow.
Like the more confident she feels, the more her hair braids up on its own.
Wow, so it's entirely like sass-induced.
Yeah.
I like it.
No, that's it. It's her mood ring.
Yeah. It's like instead of, the shampoo ads with like, use this and get confident. It's like, no, I use get confident and that just, my hair works out.
Yeah,
It's kind of amazing. Look, check it out. That would explain so many plot threads. The more powerful she feels, the more braided her hair is.
Yeah.
That's who does it. I think we've solved it. I feel good.
Only took us 21 episodes, got to the bottom of that barrel.
I know, fucking everyone else's podcast is all like, how does this happen? Oh, we never find out. We got to the end of the series. Nope, we figured it out. You just had to watch the series backwards. And remember that magic is a thing.
Yup.
Have a pretty good back and forth with Varys and this woman who's like an informant for the Harpies, which you've not really seen yet. But I do like how, it'd be very sad if something happened to your son. And she's like, oh, is that what you're going to do? Threaten my child? He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set you guys up on a boat because you're dead either way unless you run. So tell me what I know and you'll get away.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a good motivator. He's a clever dude.
Yeah. Well, as well that he did that, soft-spoken intimidation because I don't think I've quite seen that side of him. He's like more been the comic relief. Like him and Tyrion have this little buddy cop thing going on.
Now, Varys is generally speaking the softer, more... get what you want with kindness and intelligence kind of thing. He does have a very good brutal scene, I don't know, like season 3, which is pretty cool. But we'll get there eventually.
Can't wait.
Mm-hmm. I do have a good line between the newly resurrected Jon Bum Shovey and Sir Davos, where Jon's all, I failed, and Davos is all like, good, now fail again.
Yeah.
Sir Davos, again, I like my dad, but would you like to be my second dad?
Well, yeah, especially it's a very understated performance, and it's great life advice.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Go fail again.
Try and try and try. Yeah, nothing happens in Marine without Dan Brady, so this is just set up for the next one, blah, 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 blah. I do like Miss Sunday is all like, we don't drink, and Tyrion's like, you don't drink until you do.
Yeah. Again, with his performances, just trying to squeeze something out of these two. It's, it's quite good. Needed bit of comic relief, especially in this episode, which was just devoid of everything.
Yeah. Just little bits of everything and nothing really added to much.
Yeah. And yeah, we saw the prequel to Randy. I keep forgetting his name. Ramsey. And getting the girl and the Stark kid. How does he know it's a Stark boy? Because there's a direwolf head?
Because it's a direwolf head, and the Stark children all had direwolves.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Admittedly, they could have gone out, found a different direwolf, killed that, put its head on a meat hook, brought that in, said this random dude is Rickon. But, hey,
But yeah, I think that's the first time me meeting this guy who brings him to him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he might have popped up somewhere else, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... little Ramsey Bolton, Winterfell's Got Talent, as he's having these people come in, he's just judging them.
Well, if I'm judging this guy on anything, it's his ability to say fucking cunt.
he did that quite well.
Yeah.
Like, that's a skill. You can put that on a resume.
I'd say, it says here you can say cunt really well. Like,
fucking cunt. You can. Okay, just cancel all the other interviews. We're good here.
Yeah. And so I can gather as well, this is the first time we see the Mountain in his zombie form.
I can't quite remember, but it must be, reasonably recent. So, just from everyone's reaction, and they're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah. It's behind me, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Can't quite remember, because I could have sworn that happened a fair while back, but maybe the gap between being the Mountain and being, Zombie Mountain is a bit longer than I remember. I can't, details. Yeah.
But, I thought his performance was fine.
Yeah. Big dude being all intimidating and kind of purple.
Yeah.
That's what he does. It's going to be weird to be, I guess he's not an actor by trade, he's a bodybuilder, but...
oh, is that right?
Yeah, the actual... Have you not seen photos of the dude?
Oh, I've seen photos.
Mountain in real life. Yeah, I don't know, he's a weightlifter or bodybuilder or just champion. He's just a strong dude. That's what he does, and is big. So it's probably pretty decent for him to just... What are you doing today? Standing there? Sick.
Yeah.
Walking to intimidating? I can do that.
But, it's so weird. He's so covered up, literally from head to toe. It could be anyone.
Yeah, well, again, the sheer size of him suggests it's the same dude, but it could be someone on stilts.
You...
6 midgets in a trench coat.
Unzip it and it's just Peter Dinklage.
Just in a Big Bird-esque costume.
Yeah.
Putting one hand up to work the mouth.
It really could. I don't know. It sort of bums me out that they don't show more of his face or body or anything.
Yeah, but again, I guess there couldn't be much you could do, because he's not going to be all, soliloquize about, look at my hands, these are the hands of a monster when once I was a man. What am I, father?
Well, apparently he couldn't understand full sentences before he was zombified, so there we go.
Although there was a pretty dope bit where when he first walks into Darth Maester, who's talking to all these little kids about, being spies for him, and they're all eating candied plums. One kid in the background just drops his, and I'm like, "Are you instructed to do that, or was that just ad-lib? Nicely done, kid."
Yeah.
Would have really enjoyed one of them, look at the candied plums, look at the guy, look back at the candied plums, rub their eyes, throw the candied plums away. That classic bit. But, yeah. Yes. I think that puts me out of notes. Let me have a quick check, but what else you got?
Watsy's girl taught us all about homonyms.
Yeah, Gilly.
Yeah.
I do like the bit as well. She's like, I thought the sea was called the sea because there was nothing but water as far as you could see. Get it? See? I know it's, and she's like, I know it's not that now because I can read now, but
yeah, just dead silence, and she's like, well, that's my time. It's
well, that's been my 5 minutes. Try the crab dip. I'll be signing autographs up back. Yeah.
But no, other than the last thing that's said in this episode, which I don't feel proper addressing anyway.
Yes, I will get to that in a second. Man, final question then. How did we get here?
I don't care. Well, look, this is the third episode, so, episodes 1 and 2, you're trying to build up hype for the season, so, I guess around 3 and 4 and all that is where you can sag a bit, because all this has been building up to the Battle of the Bastards, so... Yeah, honestly, we're gonna just get back into more pre-planning.
Well, this is gonna be the cause that led to the pre-planning.
Yeah, I suppose. So maybe we'll see a bit of Daenerys getting captured, or that woman dobbing on the watch, or whatever the fuck that was about.
Yeah. We didn't see Sansa this episode, so I can't remember where she is at this point, but I have a rough idea.
Oh, actually, we're gonna see Jon Bon Snowy getting stabbed a bunch, I guess.
Yeah, also true. Actually, in the opening, we saw, the Iron Isles, or Pike, or whatever it's called, but we did not see any Greyjoys. So that's a bit of a mislead there, your little animated intro.
Yeah.
Bastards.
I've got higher expectations for it, for the next one at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be my prediction. Something that's not going to make me want to fall asleep.
Yep, stabby, stab. Something like that. All right, cool. Well, if that puts you out of notes, that puts me out of notes. I've been BT Calloway. That's been Elliot Jay O'Neill.
Goodbye.
And for now, our watch has ended.
Just like John said in the end of this episode.
Yeah.
He said the thing.
He said the thing.
Do they say that often, or?
They don't say for now our watch. It's only when one member of the Night's Watch dies, and they say, and now, because they take an oath to be part of the Night's Watch for the rest of their days, and during their funeral service they say, and now his watch has ended.
Oh.
Yes, but I was like, our watch, because we watch the show. I'm sure other Game of Thrones podcasts have done that. However, they're all dead now, so fuck them.
Yep, and we've resurrected the concept of a Game of Thrones podcast.
Just like John.
Just like in the start of the episode, and then we do that thing at the end. Okay, we're done.
Hold that for a second.
Sorry, interrupting the theme song.
Yeah, we just realized this is called Oathbreaker, and I have no idea why. So,
It's like
who broke an oath here?
Like the last episode that was called The Book of the Stranger. Like, were they really struggling for references?
I know. What is that? I'm confused. Why? Like, at least Book of the Stranger gets a quick shout out in the episode. It's tiny, and you literally missed it, and I only just caught it.
Yeah.
But this one, I have no idea. There are no oaths to break. I thought maybe this would be a reference to Brienne because her sword is called Oathkeeper, but it's not. And
well, maybe that can at least be the episode title. Why is this called Oathbreaker? maybe, because I'm going to tell you, I don't have a lot else for episode titles here. No, I really don't.
All right, see, now our watch is ended.